Kimberly Turner from cookingwithkimberly.com, and today I'm going to show you a really great side dish for the holidays. This is going to be Haskapa rice stuffing for poultry. So I'm going to stuff my turkey today with a rice-based stuffing. I am going to use a little bit of bread, which I'm going to toast up in the oven right now. But I do have mostly rice. It's probably 2, maybe 3 cups. I'm using a 4-kilogram turkey today, so just so you have an idea. Now I'm going to get some veggies started in my frying pan as well. I'm preheating a frying pan with some olive oil on the stove top, okay? And I'm going to chop these up, but let's get the bread in the oven first. So I'm preheating my oven. You can either do it like on 300 degrees. I'm going to actually broil it because I want it just a little bit toasted. You could throw these in the toaster if you wanted to, and just really do them nicely. I'm just chunking them into little pieces, little squares, just like that. And I have a cookie sheet here. I'm just going to scatter them. So I'm using 3 slices of bread. Old bread, like day-old bread, works wonderfully. Now into the oven it's going to go. I'm going to watch it broil. It's going to toast them up a little bit. I just want to dry them out slightly because rice is a little bit moist to begin with, and I'm going to add some extra delicious stock to it to give it some flavor. So we want to dry these out nicely so that they can soak up that gorgeous juice, especially from the turkey when it's roasting. It'll be nice. So into the oven. In the meantime, I'm going to slice up maybe a half a stalk of celery, and I'm going to slice them lengthwise really thinly, and then I'm going to dice them almost like a mince. I want these to cook very quickly in my frying pan. I'm just going to tenderize them up a little bit to make sure that the bite is taken out of them. If you wanted to use onion and garlic, please cut some up too. We're not using that today just because not everyone enjoys it in our household. Cut up some carrots just the same way, nice and small little bits. I just want little tiny bits. I don't want big pieces of carrot per se. Not in my stuffing anyway. Now you can put this stuffing in a bird, or you can just roast it in the oven in a casserole dish. Either way. If you want to add some mushrooms, please go ahead right now too. Now I'm going to get these veggies started. I'm going to add a little bit of butter to the pan just because I really like butter with my stuffing. The olive oil is going to keep that butter from burning in the pan. Throw these guys in the pan and let them saute up just to tenderize. Okay, I'm just going to turn these guys over quickly. They're toasting up nicely. A couple more minutes. I did turn the broiler on high because I'm using the low rack. I've taken out the rack already for my turkey to be done today. So I turned it on high. Back in for just a couple more minutes. While those veggies are tenderizing up a little bit, I'm going to add some freshly ground black pepper, a couple dashes of gumbo filet, and a couple dashes of poultry seasoning. I'm also going to add some fresh parsley. I'm going to go get it from my garden. A little bit of salt. So I'm mincing up my fresh parsley from the garden. And that's going to go, you can put it either in the pan right now for a little bit, or you can throw it right in with your rice. I'm throwing it right in the rice. And there is my bread. Good stuff. So they've dried out nicely. They're a little bit toasted. All is well. I'm throwing that into my my mixing bowl. Let's just check on these guys. Make sure they're a little bit tender. Good stuff. Done. So that's going to go into my mixing bowl as well. Lovely. That'll cool in a second here so I can actually use my hands. A couple more dashes of gumbo filet, just because that's how we like it. A couple more dashes of poultry seasoning. We have to season up this rice now. A little bit more pepper. I'm going to add some paprika, just regular. You can use smoked if you want to. I'm looking for more color than anything right now. And I'm adding a little bit of cayenne pepper just for a little spice. I have about maybe 3/4 of a cup of roasted pumpkin. You don't have to add that if you don't want to, or you could use pumpkin puree. I just want to add a little bit of color, a tiny bit of sweetness, and use up some of the pumpkin because I've been cooking a heck of a lot of pumpkin and I'm looking for great ways to use it. And this is a really nice way to do it. Now I'm also glad that I've got these breadcrumbs, or these bread chunks nice and toasted, nice and dry, because that pumpkin is rather moist. Okay, it looks nice already. I'm using about a tablespoon of wild rice just for some color, and that should cook up nicely by the time we're done. And the pièce de résistance, the whole point of this stuffing is the Haskap. Now, Haskap is a berry, and it looks very much like a blueberry, but it's elongated in kind of a regular oval shape. And it's got that beautiful frosty blue color and a crimson flesh inside. And these guys are from Nova Scotia, but they're dried. I'm using dried ones. So I love using dried fruit in stuffings. I think it's just a marvelous way to use them. It gives a nice little tang and a little bit something different that you're looking for. Also, these are going to be very pretty with this rice. So I'm using about 1/4 cup. And these are from Haskapa. This is what the box looks like. You can find it at haskapa.com. For more information and to order them. Fantastic products. They don't just have the dried berries, they have all kinds of Haskap products. Wonderful, wonderful. Make sure you check out my recipes on it as well. Now, I had made some turkey broth with a pumpkin soup that I did, and I'm just going to add maybe 1/2 cup of that to my mixture here for some flavor and a little bit of moisture. This is one of the reasons why we took out the moisture from the bread. Now, we have the bread in there, we have those dried berries, and that's going to soak up a lot of this lovely juice. So just mix that through, and we're going to do a quick taste test to make sure we're on point where we want to be. This looks lovely. I could even add a little bit more pumpkin if I wanted to. So this is what it looks like. Really, really nice looking. It's pretty with those flecks of the dark rice and the Haskap berries all mixed in there. You have that pumpkin, you've got the celery, you've got the carrots, and parsley. Fantastic. So just mix that through, and that's how you do it. So if you wanted to do it in your bird, go ahead and throw it in your bird and let it roast, okay? By the time your bird's done, your stuffing will be done. Now, if you wanted to do it in the oven, I would suggest putting it in there for, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, with maybe just a little bit more liquid, and you're gonna put it in a covered baking dish, about 350. Okay, very simple. Firstly, I want to get my seasonings prepared with the caps off, everything ready, because one hand is going to be used to hold the turkey, and the other hand is going to be used to pour in some seasonings inside the cabinet. So tonight I have some salt and pepper, I have poultry seasoning, I have gumbo filet, I have cayenne pepper, and some paprika. Okay, so that's what's happening. I'm going to grab it with one hand, season with the other. Let's get these guys over here. So let's get this bird stuffed, okay? What we're going to do first is we're going to season the inside of the carcass and then stuff it with this fantastic stuffing we just made. Okay, salt in the cavity, pepper, a little bit of cayenne, gumbo filet, which is dried ground sassafras, and some poultry seasoning. Gorgeous, okay? I like to get my turkey prepared on a cookie sheet first before I put it into the roaster, because as you can see, lots of things fall out, such as that stuffing, okay? If you have those pieces of stuffing at the bottom of your roaster, they're gonna burn, and that's gonna not be tasty in your gravy, okay? So do it this way, stuff it over here, and then you can transfer it to the roaster after. For me, there's never enough stuffing, so I try to make sure that these guys are nice and full. Now you can stuff both sides. There is a small cavity on the top that you can get the stuffing in if you have extra, which I kind of do. So let's see how much we can get in here. That's all the room I needed. Perfect. Now we need to close this hole up. You see there's a big giant hole on this turkey. So what I'm going to use, sometimes I use an apple, sometimes I use an orange, and today I'm going to use a grapefruit because that is a giant hole. So if you haven't thought of using grapefruit, it's a good alternative. Putting that right there, stuffing that in, pushing it. You want to make sure it all stays in there and it stays moist. Now this particular turkey had a little skin flap for the legs, and I'm just going to put that back on. That may stay and it may not for a while. So we're going to put a skewer in to hold everything together. So my skewer is going to go through the tail of the bird. It actually has a tail on here. And I'm going to stick that right through my grapefruit all the way through as far as I can push it. Now this skewer I have has a nice little handle, which is handy for later. So into the oven goes your turkey, and I'm going to flip the turkey over now, and we got to get this stuffing out. In the meantime here, I'm seeing that I have easy access to this front cavity that I filled. Okay, we need to get this stuffing out, and I'm seeing that I'm able to get a bunch from the front end that I stuffed. And that's great. So let's take this side out. Looks awesome. Oh, those Haskap berries are nice and plump now. So now to get it from the other end, we need to flip the bird. So just flip that. Now take your skewer out. My mom's favorite part of the turkey is the tail, so she gets the tail. There you go. This is also edible, and it looks beautiful as the center part of your plate. So now we're just going to scoop out this stuffing, get that bowl nice and close. Oh, it looks so beautiful. Man, that looks good. Ooh, you're having a feast. To me, there's nothing like roasting your bird with the stuffing in it. It's just so much more delicious that way. It soaks up all those delicious turkey juices. Look at this glorious stuffing. Look at that. You have these plump Haskap berries. They kind of stain the rice a little bit. Those little bits of carrot and celery. The wild rice is beautiful in there. It smells fantastic. Ugh. So I have a little fork here. I'm going to steal some of the stuffing just to test it before I serve it. Ooh, look at that. I have some lovely Haskap berries in that. It's nice and moist, but not soaking wet and soggy. Mmm. 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 It's savory. Oh, you hit with so much. The stock is beautiful with the rice and the bread. That turkey stock that we added at the end. The carrots are nice and earthy and vegetal and so delicious. It's really savory with the gumbo filet and the poultry seasoning and the pepper. The wild rice has a little bit of crispness. It's done to perfection. The Haskap berries, they are what make it. It's so tangy and sweet at the same time, and it goes so lovely paired with the savory rest of the flavors. Absolutely fantastic. All dripped through with the turkey gravy. Make sure you check out this recipe for the roasted Haskap glazed holiday turkey. Fantastic. And that's what we stuffed this in, right? Gorgeous recipe. Make sure you check that out. So then you get to make that tasty Haskap mushroom turkey gravy that's oh so delicious on both the stuffing and the turkey because I've already snuck it. Hope you check out that recipe too. So this is Haskap in 3 ways, I guess. We've used those beautiful dried berries in the stuffing. Make sure you check them out online at haskapa.com for this and the rest of their products. I used the juice today, I used the jam for all 3 of these, okay? So I hope that you try this. This is a very delicious poultry stuffing. You can use it for duck, you can use it for turkey, you can use it for chicken. It's just tasty, okay? So I hope you try it. Follow me on Twitter at Cooking with Kim, E with a capital E. Like the fan page at facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. My shows are on ifood.tv/cookingwithkimberly, youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly, and you can find me syndicated on Roku. Come to my website at cookingwithkimberly.com and subscribe, interact with us, and let us know what's going down in your culinary world, all right? Be a champion in your kitchen and eat deliciously. Bye.